settle. This is Williams. Highland spins away from his marker. Kaleem Highland floats it forward for the run of Boatswain. Molino inside of the area. Molino on his left. Molino! Wrong side of the net. Boatswain was offside. Molino was right not to play him on. And there's another look. The hold starts outside of the 18, but carries well into the area. And that was a penalty.
It's dramatic enough to be a penalty. You can see it there. No doubt about it. Got a point. Could have been the 2-2.
Manya knows he got away with that. There's Molino. Right idea, trying to play it into space. Molino collects once more. That's his progress impeded by Gamboa. I think Gamboa might have caught a ball to the face here. Not playing his football in Scotland is Christian Gamboa. Tweeting from West Bromwich. Oh, it wasn't a ball, was it? And it was Johnny Acosta's knee. He catches the face of Gamboa. And the studs.
Nearly raked them over the face as well with the studs. He's back on his feet. It's toughness from Gamboa.
Nathan Lewis somehow manages to find Molino.
We're seeing more of Molino in the second half.
That's a poor giveaway to Venegas though. Borges. Campbell. Combining with Ureña. Pokes it forward, trying to pass it to himself, really, Joe Campbell. This is Lewis past his man. Boatswain is offside. Boatswain, the flag stayed down. Boatswain. Lack of discipline from Jamil Boatswain. He never got onside.
And Nathan Lewis is saying, why didn't you let me go onto it? You knew you were offside. Could have just held up his run and allowed Nathan Lewis to just continue. Look right here, he's clearly offside. And Lewis is saying, let it go for me. I think Lewis would have gone onto it before the defender. Good awareness that time from Boatswain, who really struggled to get involved.
Molino in support once more. It's Molino from the edge of the area. It's an effort blocked. Cleared away by Umania. This is Campbell now. That call has gone against Mikhail Williams. Joe Campbell appeared to be leaning on him, and Campbell got the call. Williams in disbelief.
So Navas as well, a few times incensed some of his defenders. He's realizing he doesn't have Sergio Ramos and Varane in front of him.
What are you trying to say about Johnny Acosta and Francisco Calvo?
But they're not Varane and Sergio Ramos.
Celso Borges knows quite a bit about those two. Oscar Ramirez considering his second substitution. Ureña showing too much of the ball to Shelton Beto. Still the only player to pick up a yellow card in this game was Beto back in the 41st minute. Ureña goes well to control. Borges leans on Gamboa. Ureña hopping deeper in the midfield now. Ureña is dispossessed by Highland. The square ball is a good one for Curtis Gonzalez. Humphrey David on the near side, but Costa Rica transitioned into defense so well and so quickly. Jovan Jones floated forward into space. Boatswain gets there, has an option at the back post. Boatswain went for it himself. He's denied by Keylor Navas. More to come from Highland on his right now. Highland has it blocked.
Boatswain there just going for the element of the surprise as he had Kevin Molino inside the box. They might play that cross. Instead he goes for goal at the near post. Covered well by Navas.
Campbell does well under pressure. Here's Brian Ruiz. The square ball to Venegas. Instead tried to find the run of Campbell. It was touched away by Curtis Gonzalez.
Look at this here from Boatswain. Such a narrow angle. He's going for that near post, but easy kick save for Navas.
Celso Borges. Ureña. by Gamboa. Joe Campbell with his back to goal has the support from Venegas. Square ball for Oviedo, the left back Oviedo! He's always bending away from goal. Approaching the hour mark in San Jose. Lively second half as well. No goals since the final minute of the opening 45, but there have been good chances for TNT to find an equalizer in this second half. Gonzalez. He's given all kinds of space and time, so he floats it forward for Boatswain into the safe hands of Navas. Warming up there on the near side is David Guzman, who came in off the bench against Panama in the second half. It looks as though he's preparing to do the same now. There's about a half hour left to go in this one. Venegas. It was Johan Venegas last to touch it. Aubrey David standing his ground. And so it is Johan Venegas getting his final touch as he'll be replaced by David Guzman of the Portland Timbers.
And out of all those strikers, Venegas probably the one who had the poorest performance. His touches just not on cue compared to Reina, Ruiz, Campbell. Guzman just gives some fresh legs to the center of the park as well. We'll probably sit back a bit more now that heading into the final stretch.
Here's Aubrey David. Hands on Jovan Jones. Bato. Williams. Just look at the distance between the midfield line and the forward line of TNT and how many Costa Rican players are in that space in between. Cleared away by Oviedo. Good touch by Cyrus, and that allows the quicker Ureña onto it. Ureña against Bato. Ureña going for goal. It's blasted well over the bar.
Yeah, got himself into a bit of a corner here. Ureña didn't have anyone to play the ball to. Joe Campbell was behind him. I think Ureña would have been able to really turn and pick him out. Didn't even know that that run was coming. This time he had goals in his eyes, and we haven't said much about Ureña. He's always looked to pass first at that pace. This side was designed to counter, wasn't it? Between Joe Campbell and Ureña.
Here's a newcomer, David Guzman. Into space for Ureña. Joe Campbell streaking into the area. There's Campbell. Also down by Highland. Not a foul in the view of Yara Martinez. The possession is short-lived for TNT. Quickly back under control for Keylor Navas. Calvo, the goal scorer. Costa. Guzman. Umania. Time is on their side now, the Ticos. Calvo, long diagonal ball for the run of Joel Campbell. Picked up by Aubrey David. Jovan Jones in a more central spot. Does really well to find his man downfield into the area. The challenge just outside of the box. Molino is taken down. Umania the guilty party, and a free kick for TNT outside of the area.
Another one that Umania had to get absolutely right. Does get the ball, but then goes through the player. And it is just outside the box, fortunately enough for Costa Rica. He's already gotten away with a few, hasn't he, Umania? There, yeah, that's a clear foul. Already got away with the penalty that should have been called earlier. That is definitely a yellow card without a shadow of a doubt. He almost scissors right in through his opponent.
Well, it turns out to be a good foul because Molino was clear through on goal, one-on-one against Keylor Navas.
Have to take him down, absolutely. Tactical foul.
Still work for Navas to do. Saw Jovan Jones sting his gloves in the first half from a little further out than this. This time it's Highland and Jones. It's Jovan Jones, and it's well over the bar. And they disguised it well. TNT legend Dennis Lawrence having sent the Soca Warriors to their first ever World Cup. The first ever World Cup for Costa Rica was Italy 1990. Shot from a long way out is a long way off. And that was at the expense of TNT. And Tobago finished third in that CONCACAF championship. Costa Rica and the United States were the two representatives of CONCACAF, and TNT, the odd man out, had to wait until 2006 to make their World Cup Finals debut.
Trinidad, it seems now that they give some tired legs when they do make it into the final third. Just forcing that last ball, that's the one that's really gotten away from them. Even that last chance, the shot on goal, nowhere near. Not going to score Navas from that distance either. Just a wasted ball.
Jovan Jones tried to go through the legs of David Guzman. Still maintained possession. This is Gonzalez. Jones for Highland. Leaning back on Bateau. Williams telegraphed his movement. Ethan Lewis goes to ground, and it's picked up by Celso Borges. Quickly floated forward for Joe Campbell. Bateau will get there first. Nearly given away to Campbell. Was touched by Joe Campbell. Throw in for the Soca Warriors. Very difficult games coming up for Costa Rica in September. The next World Cup qualifying doubleheader. The Ticos will face the U.S. in U.S. before playing host to Mexico at this stadium. Ryan Ruiz forced to hurry his pass. Highland as well in traffic. Jovan Jones. Switch of play to Williams. As you pointed out moments ago, Mateo, no struggle for TNT to get anything forward down the wings. Everything is either a long ball or up the middle. But neither Williams nor Aubrey David providing much of a way out of the back down the wings. The direct approach seems to be working. This is Boatswain. Square ball in for Molino. Boatswain squares back across the grain, but no one there to meet it. Williams won't get there.
Another wasted attempt. That's been the storyline for Trinidad. Those wasted final balls once they do get into the opposition's box and in the final third. And Boatswain's just looked a bit clumsy when he's in possession. Very wasteful. Hasn't been too secure in the link-up play.
Here's Guzman finding acres of space down the middle. Brian Ruiz on his left, on the near side. Ruiz back in onto his right. Ruiz leaves it for Joel Campbell. Is denied by Williams.
They break forward so fast. The switch from defense to attack is so quick for Costa Rica. Ruiz might as well try that outside of the boot shot again, as he seemed to find the angle, but just tries to tee up.
Jovan Jones does go through the legs this time of Oviedo, but no foul. And it's another leg is for naught. Borges. Ruiz. Joel Campbell. It's in past the midfield line. It's Campbell. Umania. Ureña, who plays it wide for Gamboa. Square ball looking for Ureña. And Gamboa could not find his target.
Link up here, Brian Ruiz so well to cut inside. He's so hesitant to use the right foot, so it's either he goes outside of the boot or he looks for one of his targets. But it seemed like that time the Trinidad defense closed down the space for Ruiz to go for goal. A bit better.
It was just quick enough, wasn't it, to close down? It did look as though Ruiz would try the exact same thing with the outside of his boot to try and pick out that bottom corner. I think Guzman is tripped up now. Free kick for the Ticos. Approaching the final 20 minutes in San Jose. It's Guzman who settles it. And it will be Guzman who delivers it. Cesar Borges and Brian Ruiz on the near side, as well as Francisco Calvo. Ureña closer to the front post with Joel Campbell. Guzman delivers. It's there for the taking, but Celso Borges did not get there in time.
It's a good delivery, one that was practiced before, trying to get Celso on the far post. Just about a foot ahead of him.
Williams, who gets things restarted. Looking for Boatswain. It's knotted down by Costa, but given away to Molino. Rather Nathan Lewis, who gets tripped up, but tangled with the legs, and the whistle goes against Lewis. 20 minutes to play. Starts it, looking for Joel Campbell, finding only Williams. Highland sends it back. Again, they'll play long, this time with Oviedo. Last touch by Aubrey David. It will be Costa Rica's throw-in on the near side. Guzman. Ruiz, who was momentarily dispossessed. Guzman felt he was bumped from behind, but a throw-in for TNT, says Yadiel Martinez. This is Jovan Jones. Gonzalez using his body well to deny.
Ureña as well, the constant pressure that he's shown throughout the game on those Trinidad defenders who have given the ball away. They've shown a bit of a nervousness when they have faced that pressure. Just don't look that comfortable playing the ball like they are right now from the back. And
Costa Rica doing well to press, but in their own half, not necessarily pressing the opposition's defense.
See that 5-4-1 shape. It's just Ureña on his own. There's two lines, midfield and defense. When they do drop back, so tight. Difficult for Trinidad to find any sort of space in the final third.
Really in the midfield at the moment. This is Ureña. Turns and runs at the TNT backline. Cyrus back, a difficult one for Williams to control, and all he can do is play it out. Throw it for TNT.
Laughing the technical limitations. John Michael Williams. First control getting a bit away from him. Player probably has his trade at
where?
Household name.
Up in Honduras for the now 79 times capped John Michael Williams. absorbs the contact and floats it forward onside his boatswain, but the ball moving away from him and toward Gamboa. Joe Campbell was offside. They'll call it a throw-in for TNT.
One of these Costa Rican players are the ones who broke out in 2014 and ended up going from very small clubs and foreign leagues to some of the biggest clubs in the world. Players going to the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, all because of that fairy tale ride in 2014.
Here's Molino. The pressure from Guzman. It's good pressure for Guzman if he finds Ureña. It's Ureña against the world once more. Ureña. Highland scrambling back. It's Highland who wins it with some help from Williams.
See, not just the pace, but the tenacity from Ureña. He never stops.
Ruiz. So much of this match has been chaos, but almost by design. Costa Rica happy to keep the chaos in front of them with plenty of men back. Now it goes TNT's way. It's quickly restarted through Highland. This is Aubrey David on the near side. He's got help in Jovan Jones. Highland. That wasn't the greatest of passes from the substitute, Khalil Highland. Final 15 minutes in San Jose. It's been 2-1 Costa Rica since the 44th minute, when Brian Ruiz scored a sensational goal to restore the Ticos' one-goal lead. Gonzalez finds Jovan Jones in a much more central role in the second half as Jovan Jones as he's tripped up by Guzman. Free kick for TNT. Things get restarted through Highland. Peto. Williams. Pings around, nearly gets past the Costa Rican backline, but turns into a Costa Rican counterattack. Ureña needs for help to arrive. Out to the wide area for the run of Joe Campbell. Ambitious even for the quick Joe Campbell.
Just playing from memory now. Line pass. Always knew exactly the kind of run that Campbell was going to attempt.
This is Gamboa. Costa Rica are very much in control of the scoreboard, but not sure they're really in that much control of the game. Ureña had some opportunities at TNT to try and level. It's just the slimmest of margins for the Ticos, up 2-1. Lewis takes the scenic route and is brought down. The 38-year-old Carlos Edwards, who was ex-teammate of Dennis Lawrence at Nathan Lewis. He won't get there.
Put in a good shift as well. Nathan Lewis has been one of those midfielders that has liked to attack, help out. It's been a very defensive-minded formation from the outset.
Daniel Colindres will check in now. The Saprissa man on for his sixth international appearance. Man who's played his entire career in Costa Rica, now at the age of 32. Former and Punta Arenas, as well as his current club, Saprissa. He will be the third and final substitution for Oscar Ramirez. Still not clear who he will replace. The goal scorer Brian Ruiz, he'll stick around. It looks as though maybe Ureña up top. Ureña is carted off.
Hope it's just a muscular injury. Ran so hard for a side. Ureña, not the most clinical of strikers, but the way he invited the runs from the players behind him, created room for them. He was dragging the defenders for Trinidad around. It was a positive display for the 20.
Campbell at the far side. Instead, it's Colindres who has his pocket picked by Nathan Lewis. Guzman who fires over. Not a bad effort from David Guzman.
Now Costa Rica happy to drop back in that 5-4-1 shape, and it's so difficult for Trinidad to build on anything, especially now without Jovan Jones. And it does fall on a player like Kevin Molino. It's been much from Boatswain when he's been in possession.
It's a giveaway to Brian Ruiz in the middle. Ruiz finds the newcomer Colindres. Highland has been a destructive force in the middle for TNT. This is Joe Campbell from the far side, closed down by Williams. Umanya. This one quickly wide for Gamboa. A lot of room for Campbell to operate as ball will stay with Costa Rica. Colindres. That's neat work from Campbell to keep the ball in play. Colindres is closed down by Boton. Highland just moved forward looking for those attacking players of TNT. Lewis, first time effort toward the penalty spot intended for Boatswain. On the other side, it's Carlos Edwards who is tripped up. It will be TNT's ball. Gamboa touched it last. Highland leans on Williams. Gonzalez as well to fool David Guzman. It's Gonzalez in a pocket of space. Lewis. Well read by Colindres as the fresh legs of the substitute scrambling back to win it back for Costa Rica. And a foul whistle against Molino as he trips up. Here Colindres. There's been a change of shirts as Colindres, who was wearing the number 13 previously. Now it's Rodney Wallace, actually, of New York City FC, the former DC United and Portland man, who was wearing the number 13 as opposed to the old number 7. 5 minutes left in San Jose. Bounce, it's gone TNT's way. Molino. Lewis. More involved in switching over to the near side. Molino rolls it back to Aubrey David.
Molino on mark now on the near side.
Space here for Robbie Wallace. And against Cyrus. Wants to throw it for TNT.
Is getting more pace on for Costa Rica up top to make mincemeat of this much higher Trinidad line. Nothing to lose now. Have to send everyone forward.
Highland. Precious seconds ticking off the clock for TNT. Gonzalez. Again, the space between their lines make it so difficult to connect with the attacking players. This is given away to Ruiz. Trying to turn the defense into attack now. Costa Rica with Joe Campbell. Tony Wallace on the near side. It's 2 against 4. Campbell. And the drive past Cyrus. It's a weak effort that goes just wide from Joe Campbell.
Great shiftiness there from Campbell just to find that sliver of room. You always tip him to do so. One-on-one against the defender, the pace to get by and create that room to find that bottom corner. Defenders for Trinidad absolutely gassed. No chance that Cyrus keeps up with Campbell there.
Wallace bombs away as he looks for Boatswain up top. Looking against Sumania. Coming for Costa Rica. Molino trying to organize the pressure for the Soca Warriors. Williams. Back to newcomer Carlos Edwards, but given away to Joe Campbell. Now it's 3 against 3. Campbell left something behind. Highland. It's a bit better now from TNT, turning defense into attack quickly forward. It's Molino. This one who wraps his leg around to poke it away from Molino. Trying to fly past Carlos Edwards, but it won't stay in play. Third and final substitution for TNT.